Hello everyone, greetings from Brno, Czech Republic, headquarters IDEA StatiCa. Welcome to our new webinar about what's new in the release 25.1. And together with me today, my name's Jan Kubíček, as you maybe know, three handsome gentlemen, technicians, structural engineers. As the first one, Adam Kožušek, our webinar star. Hello, Adam.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen.
And the second one in order, Lukáš Juříček.
Hello everybody, greetings from Brno.
And Dominik Baric.
Hello everybody, how's it going?
So what's ahead of us? Technical information in the beginning. So go to webinar platform, you probably know it. You can ask the questions during our webinar. We try to answer continuously, and if we don't manage anything, you will get the answer after the webinar. All attendees are muted by default, but feel free to ask and communicate with us. We're keen to answer everything. And what's it's on agenda today? So two main groups of topics, the main highlights of the version as a new functionalities, new use cases covered. So you can see the news in anchoring design for concrete designers, strengthening and retrofitting a new concrete BIM link between ETABS or SAP2000 with detailed 2D, and new polished BIM workflows in Checkbot. And within the functionality improvements for current users, we improved a lot the result evaluation in detail, LTB analysis for precasters, many regional upgrades, and the new functionality of general anchor type. So we will start with highlights and new use cases. I'm passing the word to Dominik.
Thank you, Jan. I'll share my screen. All right, so let's look at anchoring, and anchoring from the perspective of steel, meaning connection application. We have done a lot of improvements, especially in the Eurocode, and we have an improved anchoring solution for the Eurocode by connection and detail. What we have done is that we have unified materials, anchor types, and settings for these entities across connection and detail application. One of the things is that the installation process, previously known, as you can see in the picture on the right, is that you could select anchor type, either was straight, washer plate, circular, rectangular, or hooked. From now on, from this new version of 25.1, you can define the installation process, which could be post-installed or cast in place. And for this cast in place, we have available washer plate and hooked anchors, which you already know historically. And the new two anchor types are the headed studs and reinforcement, now available in the L shape. And what kind of checks can you do for the headed studs? Well, you can go check it according to Eurocode 1992-4, and the materials are set according to the ISO 13918, meaning the SD1 and SD2. And for the reinforcement, which I already mentioned is only in the L shape, materials also defined according to the Eurocode, similarly as the code check. Then moving on to multi-surface anchoring. This is mega for many of the users because we have seen it on our help desk that users want to define over the edge anchoring or on different surfaces of one concrete block. So no more workarounds. Now you can do it in the application. You can modify and select different surfaces of one concrete block. And on top of that, you can also define base plate which is over the concrete edge. It needs to have that welt over there, as you can see it over here. And obviously it requires some safe design and some engineering judgment, and to use the complete workflow to export this model into IDEA StatiCa detail and perform the complete check. It is available for Eurocode, ACI, and Australian code. That is it from the steel perspective. And now I'm handing the word to Lukáš.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dominic. So I will just take my presenter. So I do believe that everybody can hear me well and can see my full screen. So let's follow up with the concrete part for the anchoring. So at first, let me start off with the brief intro. So Detailed 3D now supports a full portfolio of anchors beyond adhesive and cast-in-place reinforcement. So basically, new options include cast-in anchors, as Dominic mentioned, like reinforcement washer plates and headed studs, ends of the anchors, and post-installed anchors as a reinforcement and the threaded rods. So with correct code-based checks, material libraries, and safety strength factors. So that's very important to highlight and emphasize that engineers can model real anchoring scenarios without workarounds. And engineers can cover approximately 75% of the use cases versus 30% use cases that's been done before. So this greatly expand this practical application and strengthen basically the competitiveness. So this is just the intro to anchoring part to 3D detail, and let's get into the specific anchors. So at first, let me start with the cast-in-place installation process for the anchors. So we have developed and implemented the reinforcement bars. That's where we are enabling you to insert some straight L-shape and U-shape bars, basically on the base plate. The bond strength is automatically calculated based on the properties of the concrete, so you don't need to bother with the insertion of the bond stress. And we also added some material database. So I think it's very good to mention what use cases you can design. Some facade panels, handrails, or beam to wall anchorings that are just suitable and fitting use cases for cast in place process and reinforcement bars. Let's move to another cast in place installation process, is washer plate anchors. So what are the benefits, or what are the properties basically? We consider some frictionless contact or frictionless behavior on the shank. So all the forces are transmitted over this washer plate that is modeled as a shell element. So it's going according to the assumption from the code. As you can see that we are enabling you to insert the shape of the washer plate and distances and size of the washer plate that basically affecting the behavior of the concrete. Okay, so from the perspective of the use cases, you can design some base plate anchoring of the heavy frames or some precast connections. And the last but not least, cast in place reinforcement or cast in place installation process. Those are the headed studs anchors. They have the same properties as the washer plate. So I mean, the end has some like a circular plate that is also modeled as a shell, and all the forces are coming from this washer plate to the concrete. So that's specifically used for use cases as a seismic anchorage or bridge bearing pedestals, beam to wall connections. So we have also added the material library to our MPRL. Okay, so let's move to post-installed anchors. It's a secondary installation process that you can use for anchoring, and we just implemented reinforcement bars and the threaded rods, where we inserted or added some user-defined bond strength, and the MPRL library is updated accordingly. Okay, there is more improvement in the 3D detail, because we are like enhanced some use cases range based on the base plate export from the connection. What I mean that Detail 3D now supports realistic standoff modeling for base plates, including mortar layers, nuts top and bottom, and vertical gaps. So engineers can define hinged or fixed anchors plate behavior, accurately simulate the mortar thickness. That's very important. We are enabling you to export the mortar from the connection application, and we are ensuring the correct shear capacity. These settings are fully transferable from the connection, as I mentioned before, improving like physical accuracy, calculation efficiency, and also consistency across the workflows. So this basically enhances to user experience and reduces workarounds in anchor base plate modelings. So this is just the improvement from the building perspective, and also if you would like to model it from the scratch in the app. And to summarize it, because we have added a lot from the perspective of the cast in place and post installed anchors, and there can be like a mess around what we are able to export, what is allowed in the connection, what is allowed in the 3D detail. So we just produce this tab and outline it here, that as you can see, for Eurocode ACI and or AISC, ACI and Australian code, what we support in the connection app. Compatibility column, it means that we are enabling you to export one-to-one what you can see from in the connection, and in the 3D detail, the 3D detail basically part or columns that supporting Eurocode ACI and Australian code. We are also highlighted some cast in place and post installed processes and anchors that can be designed, simulated, and simulated there. Perfect. I have some intro how it works. We also added the Australian code. So as you can see in the 3D detail, we support the Australian code. What we also added for UK market and other concrete grades of the materials. Fine. What's more? As you know, if you were using IDEA StatiCa 3D detail in the previous version, been defined some local coordinate system, and it's been defined to the edge. But right now we just added some center point to the base plate, and what you are able to do, you are able to shift just a stop, or you are able to do shift the whole connection. So it's very profitable if you have some internal forces on it. Yeah, so the positioning using the center point, and from the anchor perspective, I will just show you that in the cast in place, as you can see, those are the anchors that's been also in the version 25, but we are enabling you to add some cutted threads, what's reducing the area of the anchors, some washer plates with definition of the washer, and also the library. As you can see, predefined library of the material properties, and headed stats is the same. So also the cutted threads option. If I just moved to the post installed anchors, we are enabling you to edit the threaded rods with the cutted threads option and the bone strength definition. Yeah, right now I'm just approaching to the check, and what we added, like a settings or new chapters from the Eurocode to the settings. Eurocode 1992-4, 1993-1-8. So this is the reason, because we have added more anchors, and there are some partial factors. So after the simulation, what we just added more, some custom limits for concrete. So you are able to scale up your palette and see some like a critical stress, I would say, in some range. This is also valid for reinforcement rebars and the anchors, where you can see the rainbow color on the reinforcement and on the bars, and also this is also valid for bone stress, where you can see some like a transition and fading out of the colors. Yeah, so that's been some intro or some summary to the 3D concrete. I will just continue what we have new in the concrete for existing structures. So let's talk about the 2D detail. So in the 2D detail, we now support unbonded tendons across Eurocode, ACI, and Australian standards. So basically, this enables retrofitting, strengthening, and new pre-stressed members with simplified execution and adjustable tendons. Basically, the outputs are aligned with the bonded logic, skipping anchorage and decompression check, allowing engineers to handle the complex reinforcement tasks efficiently and bring a new life to the existing structure. So what you are able to do, you are able to design more use cases and use it for retrofitting and strengthening purposes. Okay, what about the another improvements, another development coming from the IDEA StatiCa for 2D and the 3D detail right now? So we fully support the smooth rebars. So if you're a structure engineer designing some historical structures where the smooth rebars been exist, so this is the solution for you. Also, this solution is supported across the Eurocode, ACI, and the Australian standards. So engineers can accurately model existing structures, accounting the reduced bond, anchorage, and crack behavior just for the 2D detail, because there we support the serviceable limit states. For ultimate limits, for 3D detail, this is just the ultimate limit state. So this ensures basically the reliable calculation for retrofitting, strengthening, and assessment of older buildings, bridges, and precast elements. Expanding details used in renovation and rehabilitation projects worldwide. Okay, so right now we are approaching to ETABS and the SAP 2000, and I will hand it over the floor to Adam. So Adam, it's yours.
Thanks, Luki. All right, let's get to what's new in BIM. And that's the Super Bomb, which is ETABS and SAP 2000 new BIM link to detail 2D. So this is brand new workflow for all those of you that deal with designing of concrete walls. So what are the pains that you might have? So that if you have the wall in a global FEA model, such as ETABS or SAP 2000, you might deal with these problems. If you check it inside your global model, this wall, that's possible, and it's quite a nice workflow, but might be dangerous, because this is just a linear calculation and analysis, and you're neglecting the compression softening effect of the concrete in this wall. So that you can see that on the pictures below, that in ETABS that would show you just OK state, and if you would model this in a more advanced analysis, non-linear one in IDEA StatiCa detail, that will show you a failure around the opening that takes into consideration the compression softening. All right, that's one thing, it's the safety. Another thing is that if you, for example, use the workflow with extracting the data, you have to do this manually usually, and use the strand and tie method, use Excel. you then estimate and design reinforcement. That's very laborious. It's also laborious if you are that advanced already and you already use Detail as a standalone software to model your concrete wall from scratch. So those are all the pains that we addressed in this new feature. And the solution is obvious. There is a direct link from ETABS and SAP2000 that transfers all the data into Detail 2D. There you design reinforcement and you perform the analysis for ULS and SLS, non-linear compression softening, everything included. So let me show you the workflow. This is the overview. Basically, it's simple as it is. Select the wall, import it to IDEA StatiCa Checkbot. From there, you export it Detail 2D. You reinforce the wall, calculate it, and print out the report. So I prepared for you this demonstration so that you can feel how strong this new workflow is. So I have this very simple model in SAP2000. Sorry, this is ETABS, where you have a standard set of loads acting. For example, you see the wind load here. I have a few combinations that as well. This model is calculated. So I'm just reviewing the settings for you. And my IDEA StatiCa is integrated into ETABS. So I only select the command and IDEA StatiCa Checkbot opens. Here I select I want to perform concrete project, select the design code and create the new project. The next step is that I select in ETABS the walls that I want to work with, click the button wall, and now all the data are inside Checkbot. So you can see the geometry, of course. I have two walls. The lower wall is divided into parts. This is naturally done by ETABS. And of course, all the materials and geometrical data are imported, as well as all the combinations. You can see them here, and in the middle row, you can see the combinations that go into the analysis in IDEA StatiCa. You can manipulate with this as you wish, or just leave it to the default settings. You can also change the ULS or SLS setting for each combination, because this is also not included in the data in ETABS. And then you select the wall you want to do for the detail design and analysis. All right. All limit states go there. You merge these particular small walls into the whole one piece, and then you export this to Detail 2D. All right. So you can also export the whole thing, I mean, both walls into one model, but it's much easier to work with each one separately, and there is no advantage of performing this as a whole. As well, there is a limitation in merging walls with different thicknesses. All right, so I open now the exported wall. As you can see, here are the load cases distributed around the wall, around its openings. There is also the self-weight imported inside the load case dead. So in the place where it should be. I can now browse the different load cases and just visually check that it corresponds to what I have in ETABS. The combinations are imported with the set coefficients and factors, as well as combinations, since I set one as SLS is there as well. All right, so now the model tells me I need to add support and reinforcements, so I easily do that. I add the support at the bottom where the wall is embedded in the slab, and I add the wire fabric for reinforcement, change the diameter, and just simply finish the reinforcement design. I add some more rebars about the opening in the wall, and that's it. That was pretty easy. So I just calculate this project now. Right, all three combinations done. I can see at the first side this wall is passing the code checks. All is green, and now I can review the results in details. So of course I can go through all the particle code checks, stress distribution, and reinforcement, concrete, etc. All right, then just print the report and I'm done. So that was the demonstration of the BIM link. Currently, we support ETABS and SAP2000 with this workflow, and we support these three codes. That means Eurocode, American code, and Australian code. And if you wish, let us know if you are interested in supporting another FEA solutions that you use yourself. The limitations that I mentioned, there are no out-of-plane loads supported. Those are very usually neglectable, so no need for them. The wall elements is in only one plane because it's 2D solution. The thickness of the wall elements has to be uniform and load steps are not imported, etc. And you have to manually set the ULS and SLS. All right. So that was the workflow between ETABS, SAP2000, and Detail 2D. And now the news about Checkbot for steel design for our connections. So there is a new report settings. So in the report, there's now the tree list of the items in the project. You can also set the settings directly, and the generation time is faster. Another demonstration. So this time I have a steel whole project. You can see a couple of the groups were designed and calculated. So I go to the project here. In the project info, I can set the name, number, etc. And also the user paragraph where I can write down more info and input pictures. You can turn on off the software info. If I click on connections here, I can control which of the items of the project, so which connections go into report or not. So this is pretty straightforward. I can unselect all, select group, or select a particular connection only. Absolutely as I wish. Theoretical background on or off. And for each group of connections, I can also add the user paragraph. So that means another text info, another pictures. And for the settings, the last thing, this is what you know from the connection app. So you can add explanation formulas, turn on off code settings. That means what is each gamma factor, for example, from which code provision it is. I can select brief one page or detailed report. So this is the full detailed report. You can see the user paragraphs here with the pictures, and basically it assembles the whole report for all connections that you turned on in the list. into the report. You can also navigate through the generated report by clicking in the tree list, and then just save it to PDF or doc format for further editing as you wish. All right, these settings are now also embedded in the general project settings of the whole IDEA StatiCa software package. So this also applies for your connection app. You can set your favorite default format of the report and use it then on. Alignment of members, that's another improvement that we bring in this version 25.1. So there comes the new area selection, which enables you to select multiple members at once, and then you can set the eccentricities for the whole group of members, and you can also align the surfaces, for example, the favorite top of steel option. Let's see that in action. I have this simple project. All members are set from the FEA global model as center to center, so the members axes meet in one point, which does not correspond to the reality of the project, of the CAT production of the project. So what I do is that I select the top platform members and select the diagonals that don't go to the top of steel setting. And here I change the insertion point to top, and that aligns the members to the top surface. I also add the eccentricity to uplift the top platform. And together with the diagonal where I inputted eccentricity, you can see everything is nicely aligned and ready for the design of this connection as per the CAT and real shape of the construction. All right. That was the alignment. Now, another improvement is the buckling analysis for the whole group or for the whole project calculated. You don't have to go one by one to get the buckling results. This is pretty straightforward. And we added also the progress bar and the cancel button. So when you start the calculation of a big project with many connections, you can see the progress of the calculation and stop it anytime. If you do any updates or synchronizations, you no longer have to push the load update button to refresh the data. This is automatically done in the background. And the last thing is that you can now combine any number of parametric templates or standard templates from your connection library, as well as operations for one particular joint or connection. All right. Janko, do you want to sum this up?
Okay, unmuted now. So I'm switching to my presentation now. Summary. What you've just seen from those three gentlemen I introduced you in the beginning, a lot of things, a lot of new use cases covered, a huge effort, a huge focus from our development teams, not only steel, not only concrete, but a lot of people involved in improving what is able to do, what is able to analyze related with anchors and anchoring methods, anchoring types. So you saw a different type of anchors, either cast in place or post-installed. You can use maybe 5 different types now. You can analyze different arrangements with several surfaces of the same foundation block. So this is something what should really expand the project type reach. So you can analyze now quite precisely what you had to somehow simplify before. Next to this, we know that all around us there are plenty, thousands probably, of structures which were built 40, 50, 60 years ago, and they need some reassessment. So everywhere where smooth rebars, concrete rebars have been used, now we can react to this with our analysis. So the smooth rebar, of course, has quite different properties than the ripped one. And next to this, once the reassessment is not that lucky and the structure needs some strengthening, unbonded tendons should help a lot. Now, the first ever concrete BIM link between FEA analysis tool for example, shear wall, and sending the data to detail app for next analysis of D regions, cracks, deformations. This is a big step forward, and according to how our users will react to this improvement or this new functionality, we will continue with other FEA applications as well. And as you saw in last few minutes, what happened in Checkbot, a lot of improvements with bulk workflows. If you want to analyze the whole structure under one roof of IDEA StatiCa tools, in Checkbot, the bulk report now generated much faster. You can work with this area selection and select a whole group of members and in this group way, you can align everything to one level of top of steel, for example, set the eccentricities, offset. So this is something what really makes Checkbot not only data management tool, but really a designing tool. And yeah, what can happen now if you're already interested enough? We are in the middle of our presentation today. You can download the new version 25.1 from our product download page, and probably even more interesting is you can request a demo for yourself from your local reseller or our branch office. So just put this URL link to your browser, ideastatica.com/request demo, and you will get to the form and you will see in live presentation what's new. And of course, if you're interested in everything what happened in this version, just check the release notes on this web page, easily foundable on our support center. And we have a quick poll for you here. So we would like to hear your answer. I just turned it on also in the GoTo platform. So the first question is, which of these newly covered areas interest you the most? So what was it? Is it the improved whole structure workflow in Checkbot, as presented as the last one, or 2D wall design with import from ETABS or SAP2000, retrofitting and strengthening available now in detail 2D, or is it this whole new range of anchoring types with multi-surface anchoring? So, okay, you probably didn't see it, and now you should see it. Good, now it's there. So we will leave it open for a few more seconds. And I see the response coming in. I wouldn't read it during your vote because I could influence you. I don't want to. Okay. Fine. I think not that many changes. So I'm closing it now. And you should see the results. Okay. So the winner is quite obviously is the new anchoring types, but with some good results also the improved Checkbot workflows. So thank you for your votes, and we will continue in the presentation. So the next part, and I hope you can see it now. Yeah, probably now. Some improvements, technical ones, regional ones, is a second part of our webinar, and Lukáš is the next one in the row. Luki, it's yours.
Okay, amazing. Thank you, Honze. I will just take it over. Okay. So I do believe that everybody can see my screen. So let's follow up with the usability of the detail. I was mentioning before that we also did some improvements regarding the STAP and the local coordinate system on the base plate. So let me start with the STAP for loading. So Detail 3D now introduces the STAP for loading, a short column segment that receives full 6 internal forces at the single point and redistributes them physically through the STAP into the base plate and to the anchors and the concrete. So what are the benefits? This enables like a realistic stiffness interaction, faster modeling and fewer errors, and removes the need for manual force splitting or rigid plate assumption, because as you used detail before, so for there'll be like a nodal forces and nodal moments had to be like inserted into the one point, and you had to use like a rigid base plate to transfer and redistribute the forces so properly. So right now you are just transferring and transmitting all the forces over this node through this stub, so it enables and giving you the chance and the option that all the forces will be redistributed properly based on the stiffness of the stub or the different section, basically the stub element. Okay. Centrically referenced local coordinate system. So I was mentioning the benefits that actually right now the local coordinate system is positioned into the center of the base plate, and you as a user have an option to move and shift your base plate also with the stub and the anchors. So this is the great benefit against to the previous version, because it gives you like a higher chance to move everything properly to the specific place. So this is very useful tip how to move your connection or your anchoring in the 3D detail. What about the outputs? We have just improved a lot in the outputs, because as you can imagine that if you are designing the anchoring, so there can be like a lot of reinforcement inside, and maybe sometimes there is really so like a outnumbered layer of the reinforcement, and you need to know where is the maximal stress. So we just added the rainbow outputs and also the fonts. So we are enabling you to fully customizable results visualization. You as a users can set the minimum and the maximum values and basically scale up your range of the color, and adjust the font sizes. So what does it mean for you? This improves the clarity and the highlights meaningful data. So enhance readability across the devices, and allows precise interpretation of the reinforcement results, and also the concrete, of course. So this is the improvements from the perspective of the post-processing. What about the selection? So we just added that if you just select some reinforcement rebar or some reinforcement some row in the property grid, and turn off basically all the reinforcement rebars, you are able to see and you are able to visualize just the layer that is highlighted. So that's very useful if you have like a lot of reinforcement on the one place. So it gives you more transparency into the model, into the post-processing. Okay, so that's been for something for 3D detail and 2D detail visualization, post-processing, and right now we are heading to Precasters. What we have improved in the BIM application. So as you know, we fully support the lateral torsional buckling simulation in the BIM application. And what we added more, we added some torsional stiffness manual definition. It means that you as a user are able to insert the cracked or uncracked concrete, I mean the torsional stiffness, because it's affecting, of course, the deflections and the final results. So due to that improvements and development, we just finalized the workflow for lateral torsional buckling design for precasters. So you are able to import all the internal forces in the sections to the RCS, and in the RCS internal forces will be also included the secondary, the second order moments, and this is the goal. Amazing. So that's been the improvement for concrete. So I do believe that Dominic will tell you more. So Dominic, it's you. It's up to you. Sorry, man.
All right, thanks, Lukáš. It's very exciting how much new improvement has been done for the concrete, and let's look at some other improvements that have been done for the steel. So coming back to the steel, open general anchor database. This is a big moment because IDEA StatiCa is ready for manufacturers' anchors. What does that mean? We have prepared a workflow where we have prepared a JSON file database, which an anchor manufacturer, I won't name any, but based on your region, you know what solution you use. So this anchor manufacturer can fill in this JSON database, and then as a user, you can take it, upload it into MPRL, have it in your library of materials, and then use it there for your designs and code checks, obviously. And it will be also stated in the report, and then even in the viewer application if you share with others. So we are fully ready for that. We already are speaking with some anchor manufacturers, but please, I appeal to you as users, go to your local anchor manufacturers and ask them, require that you want them to be included in IDEA StatiCa. Then, as it looked like, you will select the anchor type, channel anchor, and this anchor in connection application will be ready, the specific anchor that you want to use on construction. And when you're ready with this design, then you want to share it. How do you share it? You share it via viewer. Previously, you had to take the file, upload it to the viewer application, and then share the link to that file. You can now do that from the connection application. In the design tab, you can click on share project. You can share multiple project items, and you can type down the email address of the desired receiver, and then just send it to them. And when they send it, and they use the connection library online, which is linked to the viewer application, and they find, or you find, the connection template that you would like to save, you can now use, when you click on the connection, use this bookmark and save the connection template. You will find it under your account. When you click on it, you will find the bookmarks and all of the saved connection templates. Coming back to the desktop application, what you can do from the third patch of 25.0, also available in the 25.1, is you can save into your MPRL library a custom steel section and use it across new projects. Until now, you had to recreate it every single time. Now, once you have it, you create it, you save it, it's always there. Another thing on our list is an improved connection API. Automation and API use, we have seen a rapid rise of the use of API. So we reacted, the API is improved, connection presentation, positioning of a member, world auto design is now available via the API. You can control the shared settings via the API, buckling results, other things, and very, very popular project code conversion. So you can convert your projects that are conducted in Eurocode. You can convert them to American code or any other code for that matter. And last but not least, we have improved the tooltips that will bring you to Support Center across the suite of application of connection, detail, member, and checkbot. We have 4 types of tooltips, as you can see on the right side. And when you press F1, it will bring you to our support center to a relevant article explaining the given feature, so you know what you are doing while you working in our applications. And that wraps it up. And we're moving on to regional improvements. Janko, are you there?
Yes, I should be here. Hopefully you can hear me. So regional improvements. Yeah, we are focusing a lot on not only regions geographically, but also design codes. Not only people from Australia design with Australian codes. As you heard from Lukáš, there are 2 main use cases newly covered. So in 3D solution, now the full package of anchoring options is available under Australian code, and for 2D solution, pre-stressing available in the detail. Next to this, for our users, not only from United States, but everybody designing with US code or AISC, so WT sections have been added in version 25.1 in the standard default set of cross sections. Then we prepared the new seismic templates immediately available after the installation. Then if you're designing anchorings within AISC, you need to somehow define the concrete you are using in these models. So the new version ACI 318-25 have been implemented. And for Indian code or Indian region, previously the anchors haven't been analyzed, haven't been code checked. Only the results in forces have been visible. That was changed in new version. So now the whole set of code checks have been implemented, and it's available for this code. Also, with extending our global reach within the users groups, now we added also 4 new languages into our apps. So Bulgarian, Croatian, Ukrainian, and newly also traditional Chinese language is available under all our IDEA StatiCa tools. You've already heard that we added new quite special concrete grades, mostly used in UK, so C28 and C32, now again in the default set of materials for concrete. And because there was a very long list of improvements, not only concrete or general or regional, this is the heads up, the main use cases, main highlights of the version again. So in anchoring, you've seen, and you should remember that now multiple base plates can be applied on the single piece of concrete. Also anchors from different directions on different surfaces, different types of anchors, casting plates, headed studs, smooth rebars, and the definition of standoff with gaps, with mortar, or with direct installation. Then the new concrete link between ETABS and Detail 2D. You will get the geometry from the FEA, you will get material properties, internal forces from FEA solution. As a result, will be translated into loading, and this loading will be immediately, automatically visible in detail. So big portion of the whole work will be automized, and only the reinforcement is up to the user. Then what's new in Checkbot? Now you can align all these axes of members. You can select by multiple area selection. You will see the feedback in the progress bar, how far you are with the calculation, and you will see how long it should take. And reporting improved a lot, much faster, with many more options compared to the previous version. As we mentioned, strengthening and retrofitting. So new rebar type as a smooth one, and unbonded tendons again. So if you're interested, I'm repeating, just download the new version. If you're already a user, there is no issue in downloading immediately. If you already have your trial version maybe expired, you can extend it in your user portal account, or if you're brand new user, just try it as a first time 14 days trial version, or ask for a quick live demo on this URL ideastatica.com/request demo. And again, if anything's not that clear from our presentation, or maybe we missed something which is important for you, but it didn't get into the highlight list, you can find everything between our roughly 40 new articles explaining all the functionalities in release notes. And quick poll, the second one, I try to run it slightly faster. It's here. So I'm launching, and you should see it already. So what are the areas you would like to see in our webinars next time? You can influence what we'll be preparing. So is it the 3D solution in detail? Maybe for anchors, maybe for something else. New possibilities within anchoring workflow. So sending the data from a connection app to detail app, and what everything is possible, maybe what's not possible. C option, BIM interoperability with Checkbot. So maybe you're interested in different FEA tools, maybe you're interested in the whole workflow presentation, maybe member stability. So lateral torsional buckling, or general buckling of the members, so we can focus on this in member app, or you can see the whole workflow between ETABS and detail. So votes are coming, slightly moving. Okay, now it seems to be quite stable, so I'm closing the votes and sharing the results. As you can see, probably anchoring will be the winner again, but Checkbot is next. So we have now good guidelines what to prepare next. And coming back to presentation slides. So we already are preparing something for you. So this year, several more webinars ahead of us for global attendance. So the 12th of November, we will focus on anchoring, advanced options and possibilities within IDEA StatiCa tools. So this could be a nice response to our second poll. So you can see quite quickly in 1 hour presentation what are current possibilities in IDEA StatiCa. And in 2 more weeks, 26th of November, that will be the Checkbot workflows. So, okay, our guesses were quite right. 2 winners will be covered in the November. And Q&A. So, a lot of questions came to us during the webinar itself. Some of them are repetitive, so maybe we can mention this one. Yes, I see. Casting plate, is it available in AISC code as well, or the checks for casting plate? So is anybody from our specialists willing to answer it? So Dominic seems to be.
So the AISC code for casting plates in connection and even the full integration with detail should be released in one of the next patches of 25.1. So stay tuned. Within a couple of months, it should be there.
Perfect. Thank you, Dominic. Browsing through the rest of the questions, all of them seem to be answered. So what can be maybe interesting as well? Okay, the question about which FEA tool will be the next after ETABS or SAP2000. So it's tricky to say this one because it really depends on you. It depends on the usage of the BIM link. So we will track not only help desk questions, but also the usage of the BIM link itself. So once we see it's popular for concrete walls, for detail 2D, we will come with the next one. So yeah, please ask for your preferred. We have some tips, we have some favorites, but our developers will need the raw data. So we will see which one will be the next one, but we are not finished with only ETABS and SAP2000. Okay, it looks like we nicely managed within 1 hour, and anything we didn't manage to answer, you will get the answers after the webinar. And if you missed a part of this session, you will see, or you can find the recording on our YouTube channel or on our web pages probably tomorrow. So with this, I am closing this session. Calculate the studies estimates. Thank you for being with us for an hour, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the day. Bye bye.
Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Enjoy the autumn.